Years ago, maybe in the 1930s or maybe before that, before I was born, I won't tell you how old I was, I had an old sister, they used to bring her down. And then I grew and came down, and my parents were Anne and Lillian Wallace and William Wallace. And they came to Gravel Lake years and years ago. And I had an uncle who had a sister who lived in Lod. And they had a gas station there years ago. And she had these little goats, and she called them all her kids. So then she married this man. Her name was Alice Brooks. She married this man, and they decided to end up in Lawton, Michigan. And they told my mom and dad about a nice cottage, Gravel Lake. It was a great place to be. And why don't we come down and see it? So we all came down. I don't know if I was with them or not, but my sister was. And we all came down, and we liked Gravel Lake a whole lot. And we came across, it was like the Irish village. There was Mrs. Lafferty and Mrs. Burke, and Dugan was the owner of it, which they still call it Gravel Lake, Dugan's Landing. And you could rent a cottage down there for about $25 a week. And they gave you a boat with it. Nobody had a motorboat. And then in time, they all came in with a motorboat. And there was good fishing. My mom and dad went out fishing every day. Let's see. The summers were great. I was fortunate enough to marry a man by the name of Jim McGreal, and we had 4 children, a daughter and 3 sons. And when school was out in June, we all came down and spent the whole summer down there. We had some great times. Then there was Freddie Winkler, the Winkler Beach. He used to come around with a horse, and he'd gather all the kids up, and he'd say, "You want to go on a hayrick party?" And we all went on a hayrick party, and we went to what's the town here? Dugan's. What's the town where the dines? Where was it? Decatur, Michigan. And then we'd all go on the hayrick party, and we'd stop at this one place, and they had a big barn, and they put a big sheet up there so we could see all the movies. Then as time went on, Decatur, Michigan got kind of big, and they had a show theater there. And they had a place by the name of Dines, and we all went in and had ice cream and had a real, really good time. Then as we stayed here for the summer, everyone thought we were farmers because we went and picked all the crops. Never got a penny for it, but it was great fun. So our first crop was, what was the first crop?
Asparagus?
Asparagus. Okay. Then we stayed till the very end when we dug potatoes up. Then we had, then we came in with some farmers. And the farmers all came down at night, and they parked their pickup trucks or their cars, and they'd be on the beach, and that would be our light. We had a really, really good time. But come on, Jimmy, ask me something.
What can you tell us about Mr. Dugan?
Oh, Mr. Dugan was from Ireland originally. And he came down here and he started Dugan's Landing. And he stayed for a while and he went back to Ireland, and I don't think he ever came back to Michigan. To America again. He and his wife had it, and then Mrs. Burke and Mrs. Lafferty, they ran it. My dad had 3 sisters and a couple of brothers. So when we stayed down here, we were here all the time. We never went back to Chicago for the whole summer. And a lot of my friends would ask our children, "How do you like to swim in Lake Michigan?" And they'd say, "We never swam in Lake Michigan. We have our own cottage, and it was a great place to work." Then next door, as we call him Mort, because Jimmy went to school with him, he came down one day and decided he wanted to live down here, and they bought a cottage. And he's been like a son to us. He's really, really great. And I can't tell you so much about everything because I can't remember much more.
What about, do you remember anything about Pete that used to run?
Pete Rapino. It was Dugan first, and then Pete Rapino, and he had this park there we're in now. And then there was Mr. and Mrs. Wortley were here, and the Smiths were here, and Pete Rapino. Then they used to say he made grapes, and he walked around the grapes and make them soft and everything. It was a big joke, you know. But he was great. But when he died, then Rice took it up. They were the realtors down here. And Daddy's mother's name was Rice. So they sold lot after lot after lot. And now when I look down at it, it just seems so commercial. You know, everybody has boats and everything. Okay, Jimmy, like I
And do you remember when they were building the Sandy Beach area, when they were developing this?
There was no cottages in the back of us like there are now. They dug out the swamp, and then they made the channel there. And everybody has their own cottage. Everyone has boats. And this man that's taking my picture, he's a very good friend of my son. That's why I'm in it. Can't remember, did I say everything I wanted to say?
How about Freddie Winkler?
Oh, Freddie Winkler came around with a horse and had a hayride party. Oh, and then we went into Decatur. I forgot about that. And we had Charlie McCarthy there. Remember on the main street? Charlie McCarthy and Murder Nerd. And Charlie McCarthy was born in Chicago, but he was raised in Decatur. So he gave us one big time, Charlie McCarthy. Everybody came out to see him. Then what else did I say? Oh, then we made in with a lot of farmers through the times, and it was really great.
What about like swimming in the lake when you were a kid?
Oh, we all swam in the lake. And Mert, Hyde, was it? Hyde? I told him one time I wanted a canoe. So they went out and they got a canoe and took us in the canoe. And my mother would stand on the shore and have a pillowcase in front of her because she was afraid we would drown. But when you turn a canoe over, I understand you can't sink it, so we did that all the time. And Jimmy here, our son, used to never went fishing with Grandpa, but he used to. Grandpa would bring in the fish in bullheads, and they put a nail on the tree, and they skin the bullheads. Did you ever see them do that? And what do they call it? Catfish?
Catfish.
Yeah, and they get all that.
How about taking the train up here?
Oh, the train used to stop in Lawton. And what was that other town? Marcellus? And they'd come down on the train and see us if we didn't have a ride. But now we have a chauffeur that's down there. So.
And if you didn't take the train down, how long did it take you to come down here?
Oh my gosh,
kid?
we used to go along Lake Michigan. I don't know if you're familiar with Lake Michigan, Benton Harbor and everything. We used to go along Lake Michigan. It'd take about 6 hours to come down here. And Grandpa would have his old Ford with what was in the back, the trunk in the back and everything. But we all had some really, really good times. So, can I end it? And if I think of anything else, I'll tell you. Can you get on to it? Oh, yeah.
And can you give us your name one more time?
Oh, the cottage was bought by my mother, Lillian Wallace, and my dad's name was William E. Wallace. He was a blacksmith and welder years and years ago. And he said he used to, what do you call it, on the horse's feet, but I don't think he was that old. And then him and Mr. Worth lived together in Chicago. And after all those years, they met down here, you know. And Smith, you remember Smith?
And how about the Jurgesons?
Oh, the Jurgesons, they had a trailer down there. I think that trailer must have been 200 years old when they pulled it away, you know. But everything was great. I love it more and more down there. So I have an owner. We're the owners, Jimmy and I. So whatever he says, and I say goes. Okay? Oh, Sherburns. I never mentioned Sherburns. Oh my gosh. Sherburns, we used to go up and watch them milk the cows, and the dogs used to bring the cows in. And as you watch them milk the cows, the cat would be all around the barn, you know, waiting for milk and everything. And Bernie Sherburn owned what did he own in town? The grain mill in town. Do you know any of these people I'm talking about?
I'm familiar with Sherburn.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Bernie Sherburn and I and his sisters and mother and dad. They used to say the only time they ever took vacation was when we came down, you know. But they all worked.